Hello everyone, welcome back to another Raiders video. In this video, I'll be giving my Raiders-Browns game preview, so let's get into it. So, a long week, it kind of feels like going into this game. There's been a lot going around the team, right? Obviously, a very ugly loss, and, pretty ugly injury report as well. So, first of all, it kind of feels like a must-win game, because a loss like this might throw off the trajectory of the season. If you lose to a team that's definitely beatable, and we've got a 1-3 on the season, you know what I mean? And it's just not looking good right now because, after the week 1 loss and then the week 2 win, I was kind of thinking about okay, was the week 1 loss a fluke loss or was the week 2 win a fluke win? Well, after the Carolina game, I can't really tell, but if we don't get our stuff together, it's going to be a long season. So that's why it kind of feels like a must-win game. Does not help that Devontae Adams is out. Max Crosby was out, but now it's doubtful. I hate to say it, but I'd probably hold him out. It's a high ankle sprain. It's not going to get any better. From what I know about high ankle sprains, so probably keep him out. We play the Denver Broncos next week, which is an even more important game because it's a divisional game. Great streak, playing every game since 2019, but I would say hold him out. Another big topic is for personal reasons. Mayer has been ruled out. I don't know if that's the whole business decision thing or whatever, but we'll find out as time goes on. I will say, watching him this year, he's had really good blocking. He's a guy I look at that gets in the trenches, blocks really well for us. So it would surprise me if he's a business decision type of guy to bench him. He puts his all in the blocking game, even though he does not get the same targets and recognition that Brock Bowers gets at that same position. So I would be really surprised if that's the case. I hope it's just something minor and he'll be back. But I do have to say the Raiders signed John Samuel Schenker to the active roster. So that makes me think the Mayer thing might be a little bit more serious. Hopefully not. But until then, Harris Bryant will be tied into playing his former team this game as well. Obviously, Bowers should hold down the tight end in one spot. But yeah, other injuries going on as well. Mir Abdullah questionable. DeCameron Richardson out again. Now for the Browns, they also have some big injuries. Obviously, no Nick Chubb. They have 3 starting offensive linemen down, and they have no David Njoku. So on top of already being kind of a suspect offense, so Cleveland definitely has some injuries. Myles Garrett was also dealing with a lot of injuries. 3 of them, but is still going to play. So both teams banged up, but definitely winnable for both teams because both us and the Browns had an ugly loss last week. Let's see if we can bounce back better. Hopefully it's us. But now getting into the kind of preview, Cleveland is 1-2 like us. They took an ugly loss last week against the Giants, and so far their defense has not been looking as good. Still have a lot of talent, obviously. You know what I mean? With Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator, with Myles Garrett, with one of the best, I would say, passing defenses in the league. Heavy man scheme. But this year they've not been playing as well, and maybe we can take advantage of that, but we'll see what happens. But my point is they definitely have a good defense. That's what keeps them in games. And now their offense is very suspect, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. Sean Watson, the quarterback, is not looking any better. The running game is not looking too good. Obviously, Nick Chubb. Obviously, the offensive linemen are out, like I mentioned. They usually do have a good running game, but not looking good this year. The passing game, they have Amari Cooper, who's been kind of quiet. His first game against the Raiders since being traded as well. So we'll see how he does. Trey Judy as well, who we're familiar with. Had a touchdown in week 1, I believe, but hasn't been doing much outside of that. And we can contain this offense, I believe. The running game is what they hang their head on. If they don't get that going, then I don't think they'll get much going on offense at all. But of course, the same could be said for us with our really bad run game. So the game kind of is almost kind of similar for both teams. It's 1-2, coming off an ugly loss, got a rebound, and banged up, and kind of a defensive kind of game. Now, if our defense comes out and plays like it did last week, then it's not going to be a defensive game. We're going to get destroyed. But if they play like how they should be playing, then it should be a defensive game, and got to kind of win the turnover battle and stuff like that. So that's kind of the keys to the game. Kind of, again, it is a winnable game. That's the thing. That's not even delusional to say because Cleveland is looking at this game kind of the same way we are. You know what I mean? So got to somehow fight and win this game, get more healthy as we go forward. Next week against Denver is definitely a winnable game. They're not looking good this year, even though they just had a nice win against Tampa Bay. They're looking very beatable. So, got to rebound. If we rebound, we're 2-2. That's the thing. We just had an ugly loss, but 2-2 is right there. Now, 1-3, that would not be as good, right? So, got to try and rebound and get some stuff figured out. At least the defense has to get back on track. If the offense isn't as good this game, it's the Cleveland defense, I understand, but eventually they have to get something going. The offensive line, the running game. Minshew has to kind of. It's not going to be fair if he has to carry the offense. It's not really the quarterback that he is. So with the Cleveland game, hoping for the best. Obviously, a lot of emotions kind of in this game. With the whole game week that just happened, with the whole team meeting and things are personal team meeting, stuff like that. I'm concerned but excited. Chance to get the 500 against a beatable conference opponent at home. So that being said, that was my Raiders Browns Week 4 game preview. I'm Marto, and thank you for watching.